Carson.
Yeah.
Carson is the bestest car. Carson's a great car. And Carson can deal with things like water and rain, unlike a certain car.
Unlike Cybertruck.
Unlike
the
Pentagon.
the Cybertruck, yes.
I've never seen something advertised so heavily as like a rugged off-road vehicle completely and utterly fail to go up a slight hill.
Talk about the infinitely better version of the Cybertruck, the Mako found in Mass Effect 1. Because, first of all, it can jump. Second of all, it can go off-roading. Third of all, it can go up 90-degree fucking inclines.
That is impressive. Most cars can't do that.
It's also got a fucking cannon on the top of it.
Very nice.
Sure does.
Is
this the intro?
Is that the intro? I can't tell anymore.
You want me to have a better segue than that?
No,
Welcome to the podcast.
I'm Alina.
I'm Cole.
I can't remember where we left off. The last one.
Well, we just finished talking about Pharos, and we talked about some side stuff for a while.
Oh, right. Okay, so the only one we haven't talked about is Novaria.
Yeah, Novaria, Vermeer, the rest.
Yeah, Novaria and the rest of the game.
Yes. For our wonderful listeners, this is a two-parter. This is a two-parter. So this is part 2. If you are confused as to what we're talking about, go watch the last podcast episode if you haven't, and then it will make sense.
Random thought, guys.
Mm?
Are these the only 2 videos you've ended up releasing during Pride Month due to scheduling problems?
Yes. Do you want to do you want to upload something
to our audience? We didn't upload last week because we hate gay people.
No,
we are gay people.
No.
Stop saying inflammatory shit just because I'll fucking wring your neck.
Funny though.
No, listen, Peter, you can say inflammatory shit, just don't drag us down with you.
You know, I can accept that.
Great. Happy month of the Pride. Go.
Be gay, do crime.
Be gay. Unless you aren't that, in which case, cool, I guess.
As we all know, anyone found being straight during Pride Month will be arrested.
No.
By me.
By you?
Personally.
What if they're like 2 times your size?
What if what?
What if they're like 2 times your size?
That's why cops have guns.
Do you know how to properly
No,
fire?
I'll learn.
Look, you don't need to know how to like brace for the recoil if you kill him in one hit.
I don't know about that one, I'm gonna be honest.
Do you want to talk about more side things in Mass Effect or jump right into Novaria?
I think we talked about a lot of side things.
One thing we didn't talk about that I completely wanted to the whole time, but I couldn't find like a space for it, is the adoring fan side quest that goes for the whole game.
I can't even fucking remember his name, but yes, I do love it.
Conrad Werner.
Conrad Werner.
Okay.
Conrad Werner is a character you can first meet on the Citadel at the beginning of the game when you're first running around and doing all the Citadel side quests.
Basically, right out of the tutorial.
Yeah. he is a huge fan of Commander Shepard. Remember how you choose like your service history within the military? Whatever it is that you chose, he's a fan of you for that reason. If you chose Sole Survivor and you watched everyone on your squad die terribly to an Eldritch Abomination, man, he's a big fucking fan of that.
This is where I watch my squad mates die, Conrad. I'm a huge fan.
Man, the way you survived on a cruise and everyone you knew died.
Fucking
That's so cool.
sick, bro.
It will never not be funny to me the amount of people that you meet at the beginning of Mass Effect 1 who are just like astonished and amazed that you survived a cruise. And like that's really cool to them. But they always bring it up in like the worst possible way.
Well, yeah, soldiers aren't people. They don't need sympathy.
Totally. It's totally how it works.
I'm so confused.
So much. Trust me, I'm more confused than you.
I'm sure you are. It's not a competition.
It is now.
It is now.
It always can be. It always can be a competition.
I guess it always can be a competition, yes. Excuse me. So if you... I just ate a meal. I've got the stomach.
You have a stomach?
Yeah, surprise to everyone, I know.
Holy shit.
I'm currently eating my meal, which is just lemon sorbet.
So if that's the background that you have, then he's a big fan of you for, I guess, being like a cool, badass, barely survivor. If you chose the war hero service history, then he's a fan of you like single-handedly holding off a platoon of guys during the Skillian Blitz, and if you chose ruthless, which means that you shouldn't sacrifice your whole squad to get a job done, also during the Skillian Blitz, then I mean, I feel if I remember right, he's less down with that, but like he appreciates the pragmatism. The man just idolizes you regardless of the way you behave towards him or like anything you do or say. And the very first thing that happens when you meet him on the Citadel for the first time is all he does is he just geeks out over your existence and your presence and your being there, and then he asks for your autograph. And that's it. And on the second time, if I recall correctly, he starts talking about enlisting with the Alliance military. Every time you can go talk to Conrad, it is after you've done a major planet. So the first time is after you've done Pharos Novaria, or the one where Liara is, the name of which I forget again.
Therum.
Thank you. And he'll just he'll continue to geek out about your recent exploits, the fact that you're the first human Spectre, and then I think he talks about joining the Alliance military, to which you can try to persuade or try to lead him towards that or dissuade him from doing so. This is where you can kill Conrad. I think I fully forget what happens. I think he tries to join but is unable to for whatever reason, or he talks about getting a gun and doing like vigilante justice. I think that might come later. Conrad's arc over the several planets that you complete is him idolizing you more and more to the point where he wants to try and do the things that you do with complete reckless abandon, not realizing that Shepard is like several years of military training. And he's just a guy.
Well, I mean, it's presumably one of the reasons that he idolizes Shepard is because Shepard is also technically just a guy.
Shepard is also just a guy, but like there is a difference between just some guy with several years of military training and experience and just some guy who does not have those things and their likelihoods to survive a fight.
See, I like to think of it as Conrad Werner is just some guy. Shepard is just that guy.
Conrad Werner's pronouns are just he, not him, because he'll never be him. Him being Commander Shepard if you're playing as a guy.
But anyway, I like how I'm going to skip ahead to Mass Effect real quick because in Mass Effect 2, because Conrad Werner's in all 3 games.
Yes. He features far less in 2 and 3.
Yes, but in 2, he will have actually been a vigilante for a time.
And shockingly not have gotten himself killed.
Yeah.
You can do parts of his questline by encouraging him to go do some crazy ruthless violence to random people in Mass Effect 1, and that can end with him dying. It is good to let him live, because if you do let him live, if you do help him live down into Mass Effect 3, it results in an insane continuity cavalcade that we'll talk about when we get there in 4 months.
Yeah.
The other thing that I like into that I'm going to talk about very briefly is that it was bugged so that he only ever remembered you using the renegade option to dissuade him from doing vigilantism, which is aiming a gun and threatening to shoot him in the face. Even if you had chosen the Paragon option, there was a bug in Mass Effect 2 that just made him respond as if you chose the Renegade one, regardless. And that's funny as hell. Or they write they write the error into 3, and he apologizes to you, like, sorry if I said that you ever waved a gun in my face. If you never did that, I was really stressed. Actually, that gives me a great opportunity. I want to talk about the Paragon Renegade system and how I think it's at its best in 1, because it doesn't have like a full several years of slow degradation.
Oh yeah, we didn't actually talk about the actual system itself.
No,
we mentioned that it exists, but yeah, that's a good place to start.
Yeah, you want to dive into the exacts of it?
Sure.
I want to give you space to talk here, because this is a joint project.
Very much so. So, simply put, Paragon and Renegade are the good and evil, quote-unquote, dialogue options, or actions that you can take in cutscenes. And they're sometimes very clearly marked with blue or red for good or bad, respectively. If they are major events, or if they are events that require you to have a certain level of charm or intimidate.
Which are skills that you level up in this game, and they never do it like that again.
Your social stats, basically.
Yeah, that is the only change in regards to like stripping RPG mechanics later on that I actually liked.
Yeah. Having to actively take points out of leveling up your skills to level up your talking does not work in a Mass Effect style RPG.
Yeah, it also like it's worth noting that the amount of charm or intimidate points you could put into either one depended both on your character level and the amount of total Paragon and Renegade points you acquired.
Yeah, so if you don't do as many Renegade or Paragon options, if you try to stay completely neutral, you will not be able to level up your charm or intimidate very far, and can result in many bad things happening.
Many bad things happening.
Like character death. Or even your own death.
Yeah. As well, during like normal conversations where there's not a big option to choose, generally speaking, on the dialogue wheel, because it's shaped like a wheel.
A wheel with 6 sections. You got 3 on the right and 3 on the left.
Generally speaking, most of your dialogue options are going to be on the right side of the wheel, and typically Paragon options are top right, and Renegade options are bottom right. And then the middle is like investigate. The middle is like give me different dialogue options that give me more information before I make a decision.
No, usually middle right is the neutral option of go forward, and the ones on the left are the expand dialogue options. So like, give me more information about X, Y, and Z.
I feel like it switches a lot throughout Mass Effect 1, because I'm remembering instances where both happen. And it's not like BioWare is foreign to weird UI.
Yeah. But also the top left and bottom left are where the red and blue options will go. So
yeah, red on the bottom left and blue on the top.
Charm and Intimidate X, I guess was the best way to call them.
If you don't have enough points in Charm or Intimidate, those options do appear, but they are grayed out to show that you cannot select them because you suck.
Yeah, you suck at playing the game. playing the talking game.
The talking part of the game, which does take up a lot of it.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, so generally, as said, the actions taken dialogue determine the amount of points you gain, and invest fucking stat points into them. The way that Paragon Renegade works, generally at first is kind of posed as a like, do you prioritize collaboration with the intergalactic community, or do you prioritize humanity's independence? But both options have some really weird wiggle spaces where it's like there are several Renegade options that are just like, I think it's good for humanity to be a part of, but also apart from the intergalactic community, so that we like retain our unique identity. And other Renegade options are like, actually, I hate aliens.
Yeah, sometimes Renegade options are just, I'm gonna be a dick for no apparent reason.
Sometimes Renegade options are
racism.
Racism.
Oh.
And sometimes Paragon options are like, I'd gladly sacrifice like a decent chunk of humanity for other stuff. Or basically, you just kind of, there are instances where you just kind of feel like a total fucking pushover.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know, it's like a weird balancing act that I don't think one quite strikes a chord of, and I think the tightrope only gets wobblier as we go forwards.
Yeah.
And this is without mentioning that the majority of people playing through the games do tend to choose the Paragon options most of the time, because it turns out a lot of people just don't like to be unrelenting dicks in video games all of the time, which is surprising to me personally.
I believe the stat spread on that was like 98% of first playthroughs were Paragon.
Yeah, it is an astonishingly colossal percentage.
Technically, I was part of the 2%, but that's because I'd seen my dad play through Paragon multiple times before I actually played the game myself.
Yeah. Peter, you're in the top 2% of something.
Yeah, the top 2% of racists.
fictional alien races.
Fictional alien, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say. You're in boiling water today, huh?
Yeah. It's already really hot. It's in the middle of a heat wave, and you just made me sweat more.
Cole's that meme of the guy that's like
Yeah.
buckets of sweat.
It's- Our public image to all 9 people.
That's so funny, Peter.
I'll have you know that number fluctuates between 0 and 15.
Okay, that's fair. What's our highest view count as of right now?
As of right, I can look.
I feel like it's I feel like it's in its 30s actually.
It should. I think it is. Let me.
Oh,
I shall.
I was lowballing it then.
You.
Yeah,
How
we had
could you?
one video really pop off in comparison to the rest.
Wait, I think we have 2 that did that. At least.
I think it was the Wolfenstein one that I'm so deeply ashamed of because I didn't do it justice.
So, yeah, some of these episodes.
Ah! Viewers, ignore that noise.
I think it's this one that did like better than the rest of our stuff.
Let's see.
I don't know if it still is. Oh, if it's still up there with our greats.
The highest viewed video is the Isekai episode.
Oh, okay, that
with
makes
33. Second highest is the live service games with 30.
Wow, that was recent.
Yeah. Next one is the Hunger Games at 28. And then it's Wolfenstein at 26.
Oh yeah. Guys, we're improving.
We're doing the thing. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, the Paragon Renegade system is just kind of jank. I am personally of the opinion that morality systems in games are generally always going to be really jank, because they do almost always get boiled down to total pushover and the most fucking assholest person you've ever met. So, really, with choices like those...
How can you go wrong?
Oh, and of course, there's the NPC neutral route.
the neutral route, where Shepard is a large language model that's just spitting words out at people in the vaguely correct order. I feel like a proper quote-unquote morality system requires a degree of choice that is largely untenable in colossal 50-hour-long RPGs. A smaller, it's 5 to 10 hour long RPG like Undertale, for example, can facilitate an insane amount of choice. When you have a much longer experience with fully voiced cutscenes and fully animated character rigs, you don't have the time.
Yeah.
There's no time. There's no time.
I've heard from a lot of people that Infamous 1, at least Infamous 1, does morality systems pretty okay, between the sort of selfless and self-serving routes of the game. And I've played a little bit of Infamous. I only got so far as the first big choice that you get to make, which is there's currently a lockdown going on in the city that you're in due to like a big earthquake happened, and so like it's disaster relief essentially, and there's a crate of disaster relief that got stuck on a thing, and your guy just recently got superpowers, lightning based superpowers, and you can go and get the so we can go and get the crate down, and depending. And you can choose when you get to the crate, you can choose to let the stuff free to the crowd below or take it for yourself and your friends. And I feel like that has a little bit more nuance there because the question isn't. I mean, the question kind of still is how much of an asshole are you, but it's more so like, do you prioritize your little group of people or the
greater
collective
good.
health of your city? Which I feel like it is a question that at least gives like a little bit more leeway. You have more justifications for taking the aid for yourself and your like 4 close friends. That is easier to justify than a lot of other questions you get asked in morality systems. Like, man, do you like explode this guy's face for fun, or like let him continue living his normal life?
The correct answer is to blow up his face for fun.
Oh.
It's always morally correct to bully NPCs.
Yeah, that's generally how the thing works in Mass Effect 1. It's got a few kinks in it, but it's pretty okay. It's largely inoffensive as far as morality systems in games go.
Yeah, I wouldn't go. I would not say that any of the morality system ends up being like stain on the game.
Yeah, I don't think
Like,
it's
across all 3 of them. I don't think that ends up being the case for any of them.
Yeah, I don't think it's like horrifically bad. I do sort of pin a decent chunk of the blame of like people getting tired of morality systems on Mass Effect.
I would
As how
agree.
continuously prevalent it was. But hey, it was the times. It was the late aughts, early tens. That's what it was back then. Games were morality systems.
Yeah.
It was a personality test in disguise.
Huh. Pop quiz.
Now the only morality tests we have are BuzzFeed quizzes.
BuzzFeed quizzes. Also from the mid 2010s.
Yeah.
Of your friends, which are you? Truck freak, crazy ass, the fighter.
Truck freak, crazy ass.
Sad trumpet.
Sad. The fucking
the fighter.
what did they do to the fighter?
What a lineup of wacky people.
Wacky individuals, wacky memorable individuals for this friend group
goes
fighting game.
Goes down into the fucking loading dock of the Normandy. Man, look at this lineup of crazy people. You've got Rex down there. You've got Garrus down there. Got Ashley down there. got Tally down there.
It's just characters
I see you're
all
going.
the way down.
I see you're going in descending order of most people likely to just fucking obliterate you.
You know, I guess I was. I didn't actually notice that. The squad mates of everyone in order of how likely they are to just fucking kill your ass. Rex is at the top.
That doesn't change throughout the game either.
No. It's really enthralling to me. The characters in MA1, your squad mates, they don't really have arcs. Most of them are pretty static characters, but there's still some of the most interesting characters in game at this point in time, at least.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say that it's primarily because the way the characters interact with the world is not about how they change over the course of interaction. It's how they change the world over the course of interacting with it.
That makes sense.
The story is not about them. It is about their journeys.
Yeah, it is very much like a space opera. That's it. There is still a bit of character shift that does happen over the course of it. Like Garrus can start as a kind of crazy policeman who's tired of being bound by these things like rules and laws.
Yeah, to be fair, they've done basically nothing but get in the way of doing actually good police work.
I mean, that is the case, but also, like, you can very
saying that out of context, of course, makes it seem like he's the bad guy.
But also, you can very easily see over the course of the first game, especially when you get to his personal quest, where it's like, oh, Garrus, but if you keep going like this and just like killing people for sometimes relatively minor infractions, I don't want to be your friend if you keep doing that.
Hey, buddy, listen. I've noticed something a little weird going on. Just
something a little weird going on.
I've noticed that, like, sometimes when we go to get a coffee and the person's like, sorry, we're out of creamer at the moment, and then you fucking pull out your revolver and shoot them in the face. Little weird.
You pull out your full sniper rifle and
your 50 cal
their
sniper rifle. Just
it is worth noting that the smallest caliber Garrus owns is a fucking assault rifle.
True facts about Garrus Vicarian. Throughout the events of Mass Effect 1, he can go fucking insane.
And I just want to let you know, not very cool of you.
No,
might have to reconsider our friendship if you do it a 20th time.
A 20th. This is the last coffee shop on the Citadel we are allowed to access.
And even then, they're a little sketchy about it.
And if you shoot, I feel like it's a drug front, but I'm not going to question it. I just want my fucking coffee.
I just need my fix, man.
Look, Garrus, we all know it's a drug front, but I need coffee.
And you've shot all other options.
It is actually worth noting, I think this is the last thing we talk about for the morality system before we actually get onto the rest of the actual game.
Yeah.
Is that depending on how you interact with the morality system, your squad mates have their own internal morality system, and some of them don't change a whole lot.
But they do still change. Yeah, so they do still change a little bit.
Meanwhile, Aiden and Garrus have, I believe, the largest amount of variation available to them.
It is. I think Rex, Ashley, and Tali who begin technically farther down on the Renegade scale. Like it is Rex is the farthest down on the Renegade scale, and then I think it is Ashley is kind of middle down it, and then Tali is a little bit down it, and then Garrus is a little bit up on Paragon, because he is genuinely pursuing justice. He's just not doing it in a.
He's very, very aggressive justice.
There's some very black and white thinking happening for a bit.
And then it is Caden, and then Liara.
And then Liara is the
would not hurt a soul.
Black and white. Are you sure he's not just seeing red?
Fun fact about Liara starting the most Paragon. By the end of my playthrough, I had. You can generally tell. You don't need to know the exact values. So you can generally tell where they are depending on what options your squad mates that are with you suggest to take, because they will. One will champion the Renegade option, the other will champion the Paragon option, depending on their internal game value of what they are. Which one is
and so
more
whoever
Paragon.
Has the higher Paragon or Renegade will advocate for that option of the choices.
By the end of the game, I had done enough Renegade options around Liara that she advocated for the Renegade option, and I had Caden next to me going like, what the fuck?
What the
like,
fuck?
one of them was going to have to say something that didn't quite mesh up with their characters, because they're both very high on the Paragon scale by default. But the fact that it was Liara, because of options I had taken earlier, it was It was that was funny as hell to me. So Liara would not hurt a fly. Liara, apparently in my first playthrough.
Okay, in the first game, Liara wouldn't hurt a fly. In the second game, she just kind of become a badass.
Yeah, there's a time skip of a few years. She has time to learn how to use gun better, and violence better,
and threat of death better. She learns from you. Yeah.
There are even moments in Mass Effect 1 that are Paragon where you threaten death upon people because you're not strictly a good person. You're just prioritizing peace. Not necessarily love.
Yeah. Peace and love are mutually exclusive.
Peace and hate in the galaxy.
After all, the galaxy cannot persist without some hate. True fact.
True
probably.
Fact. The galaxy only spins because of hatred.
True fact, probably.
Probably. We're not physicists.
No, absolutely not.
But I do believe that if you can turn hatred into a centrifugal force, energy crisis solved.
Yeah. Yeah. We are neither physicists nor philosophers.
I don't think anybody's a philosophist.
They called Diogenes back in the day, don't you know? Yes, you can sway them a little bit, but you can absolutely sway like Tali and Garrus and Caden and Ashley quite a lot more, because they're a little bit more down on the scales. They're a little bit more intermediate in terms of where their moralities lie. So you're not exactly going to get Rex suggesting any Paragon options throughout the game. And whenever Rex suggests a Renegade option, it does come off in like the best way possible, because he always just comes off as an absolute pragmatist.
Yeah.
Over anything else. Which really does make me scratch my brain and wonder why they didn't write more of the Renegade options like that. Because some of them are written like that, and then many others aren't.
Well, Rex is also advocating for renegade options entirely because his top priority is preserving the Krogan species, which is counter to what the council fucking wants 90% of the time.
Yeah. So he's... I don't know. I feel like I would firmly characterize Rex as like as chaotic good for the most part.
Yeah, I don't think there's a single like.
The way he
I don't think
presents
there's
himself.
there are no evil characters.
That much.
I wouldn't even go as far as to say there's any neutrals.
I think you could say that like Ashley and Tally are neutral characters, but
yeah, okay, I can see that.
Due to some of their other behaviors, like Ashley is kind of an alien racist.
Yeah.
And Tally absolutely refuses to see the Geth as like anything close to people, despite the fact that they seem pretty close to being people.
Nah. Clearly not.
I think we've talked about the morality system enough for MA1.
Yeah.
So next on the list is Novaria, which is where most of the main plot important shit happens.
Oh yeah.
As well as most of the shit happens in the first half of the game.
Yeah. Pharos is pretty empty. Pharos has like only like a few side. I feel like maybe 3 side quests. Novaria has like 7 or something.
Yeah, and you keep going back there after you've left.
Yeah.
Because it's also the only place that has a fucking shop.
It's one of the only places that has a shop. There are shops on the Citadel.
Okay, I meant of the 3 places that you go
Yeah.
for your first actual mission.
So, well, Pharos didn't exactly tell you much about Saren and what the fuck he's been up to. Novaria
Absolutely does. First, you get to Novaria, and it is an ice planet. Because every planet's got to be unique. But
every planet has a unique bio.
More importantly, it is where Liara's mom, Venezia, is reportedly at doing something. I don't remember why she was there. I just remember that she was there.
I do, but we'll get there later.
Okay. And you end up in. No, it's not a hotel. It's It's effectively the equivalent of a space strip mall for rich people.
Novaria is like the corporate headquarters of the galaxy. And they do not like specters like yourself being there.
I thought you were going to say poor people.
Well, they also don't like poor people, but that's not relevant to the plot.
But yeah, no, everyone there is a tad frosty to you. Because you are a Spectre and above the law, quote unquote. And usually, that's only reserved for rich people. It is plot important. You just you got to work it in.
They're just mad that their ability to defy the law has been given to random people like you.
Yeah.
You have to spend a bit of time doing a little bit of corporate espionage in order to try and get the information that you're after, and also just generally access to a different part of Novaria, you know, where the shit's actually happening.
Yeah, you spend a good section of your time in the hub area of Novaria, like I'd say a good 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's also worth noting every single mission in Mass Effect 1 is so fucking long.
They are quite long. They do take a while.
Which is why there's only like 6 for the main mission.
Yeah.
There's actually quite a few ways you can do the opening section of Novaria. You can do it the civil, but still illegal way of corporate espionage. You can just bribe your way through it.
I didn't have enough money. I was poor when I got there.
You can fight your way through it, not in public, but you can infiltrate a place and kill everyone there for their crimes of finding out that you're doing something illegal.
They were doing things illegal. They were doing illegal things first. This is the Garrus mentality. It's the exact mentality you gotta push Garrus away from.
Yeah. There's probably other ways you can do it. Those are the 3 like main ways
those are the ones
of
proposed to you.
Yeah. And they've all got, slight variations based off of your dialogue options and whether or not you get bored of it halfway through.
I decided I instead want to kill everyone in this room.
Well, I've made up my mind. Pulls out a bomb.
But once you are out of the hub area, you go to a research lab that has been cut off by a blizzard.
Oh yeah, and along the way to the research lab, a bunch of fucking there's a lot of death here, if I remember correctly.
You do remember correctly.
And if I also remember correctly, you come across, I forget if it's a major side objective or something you have to do first in general, which is to investigate a Geth ship or an area that the Geth are operating out of around here. That has a bunch of these like weird glowing orbs that they seem to worship almost.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I do not remember that at all.
It is carved into my brain. I thought that was super fucking weird.
It sounds like something I should remember, and I don't understand why I wouldn't.
It's because it's not. I don't think it's important for the remainder of the game. If I remember it, you have to go there in order to like. It is I think entirely for like a big side quest where you have to get like a business card or like evidence of fraudulent business stuff that was happening. It's some kind of investigation thing, and like also the Geth have set up shop in the same location, and so you come across these like what are tangentially objects of worship to them.
Okay.
Along the way, because you have to like because a Geth ship has landed there, we're on top of the building, and so you're navigating the building and occasionally also the Geth ship.
Oh, I remember now. Yeah. And yeah, that is. I don't think that's main. Like, I don't think that's a mandatory objective, but it is the first building you enter once you get out of the blizzard.
So you might as well. Yeah, you get to the science place after the blizzard, and you'll never guess what you encounter there, dear viewer.
Another crossroads.
Another crossroads. But also, the fucking Rachni?
Yes, which we have not talked about at all so far.
I think we did very, very briefly when we talked about what's up with the Krogans. But as a reminder, long time ago on the galactic scale, the Rachni were a bunch of big giant spiders with turrets on their backs that tried to overtake a bunch of the galactic system. This is, of course, bad. And in order to counteract this, the Solarians, a member of the councils that are like big salamander people, gave the Krogans some real advanced technology. In their own words, uplifting them. And so the Krogans, of course, beat the Rachni back, apparently hunting them down to the very last. Supposedly.
Allegedly.
But if you've been doing the Cerberus series of side quests, then you've already run into cloned Rachni previously. And showing up here as well, on this research base, are even more cloned Rachni. Rex does not react well to this, as you might guess.
Yeah. More notable, though, than just, there being cloned Rachni. Well, we're not there yet. Never mind.
No, yeah, we're close. Close. It was only after the Krogans beat back all the Rachni, and they started to expand a lot, where the next species to join the council, the Turians, showed up and started a war with the Krogans against their expansionists shit that they were doing. Resulting in a long war, and of course resulting as well in the genophage that causes
species-wide sterilization of the Krogan.
Not total sterilization, just
species-wide near sterilization.
Lots of still. Well, they're not sterile though. Specifically, it's crueler than that.
Yeah, it is crueler than that. The effect is an almost 100%
infant mortality rate. These Krogans have lots of kids all at once, and now very few of them survive. So this is the reminder as to what their deal is, I guess, because those are going to be important details very soon.
Yes.
The facility has active Rachni in it that do seem to be Rachni clones, but you also come across several Rachni eggs, which you have seen in the Cerberus bases if you were doing the Cerberus quest lines as well. So you might be thinking that those are also cloned. But as you go deeper into the facility, you do find out several things. First of all, this facility was kind of always dedicated to studying the Rachni. Not necessarily all of the staff knew that, but that is what the point of it was the whole time.
And more importantly, those aren't cloned Rachni.
More importantly, those aren't cloned Rachni. They have somehow, I forget if they cloned a Rachni queen or if it was a captured one.
It was a captured one.
It was a captured one. Okay. They captured a Rachni queen, and she sure is just in the basement. And as you get to that basement, you also find Matriarch Benezia, Liara's mom, who is psychically controlling the Queen Rachni's spawn.
In the basement?
Yeah, from the basement. She's
the basement.
Yeah.
Basement.
She's got racially inherent wizard powers. She can just do that.
Racially inherent.
That is the most bizarre way of saying that the Asari are genetically predisposed to have powerful biotic abilities.
Yeah, it's a racial stat bonus.
It is like a racial
plus
stat bonus
90 in wisdom.
Plus 90. This is. Could you imagine if there was like a sub race in D&D of elves? They're called super elves, and their wisdom's up by like 100 or something. You're just like, what?
It's called super elves, and it's just like, you are the best elf to ever elf. You've been alive since time.
Since time. Time started, so did you.
So did you.
Yeah, no, not even since time began, just since time.
Just since time.
Since time. You are literally Corlin Larathian.
You have existed, do exist, and will exist. All
Features.
tenses.
Can't die. Plus 90 to all stats. Except strength.
Except strength.
Yeah, I was gonna say they can suplex a Tarask.
Yes.
No, we all know that elves are, of course, skinny fuckers.
That they are. Some things even being since time can't solve.
Even being since time won't make you swole.
I mean, hey, who needs that when you can telepathically suplex the Tyrants?
Telepathically control a bunch of spiders to go suplex a guy.
It's just like normal sized spiders, but they all start like climbing on top of each other to form like
that's fucking terrifying.
But they form like a muscular man, and they just grab you and suplex you.
They've Voltron together to suplex you.
And then they all scatter.
The nature of humanity is that every now and again someone reinvents Spiders Man.
Spider-Man's new enemy, Spiders-Man.
He's an alternate universe version of Peter Parker, where he got eaten by a bunch of spiders, and the collection of those spiders assumed his consciousness.
They took over the skeleton.
They sure didn't. It is just a bunch of spiders in the vague shape of a guy.
It's the fucking Spider-Verse, and it's just like, what are we gonna do, spiders, man? It's just spider noise.
I like to think it's even worse. It's just like fucking horrific buzzing. Like
buzzing?
It's all the chittering noises that are in Deep Nest and Hollow Knight.
Oh no.
That's so much worse than what I said.
Oh no.
I know. That's why I said
it. Every time that Spider-Man is depicted in a movie, it's just like a close-up shot and the noises for a solid like 10 seconds. No music, nothing else. And then it cuts back to the other characters. They're sort of looking at him like, anyway, how do we stop the bad guy?
I like to think that they just do that sometimes. The scene continues afterward as if time had paused during that.
Every movie with Spider-Man and it begins with an arachnophobia warning.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man video game has the arachnophobia mode where it's just a bunch of dots.
Spider-Man video game. I would kill for that.
That would be actually sounds really fun. You have two modes: humanoid and scattered.
Humanoid and scattered. Like the second half of the game is like intel gathering as a swarm of spiders.
Yeah. And then once you like finally figure out the big evil plan of the bad guy, you just form in his lair. And he's just like, I wasn't expecting you so soon, Spiders.
The rest of the public do still know him as Spider-Man. It's only you, the player, who know that he is Spiders Man.
God, that's dishonored shit.
That is some dishonored shit. You crawl into a guy's room as a swarm of rats, and then materialize into the shape of a man, and just stab him.
Rats Man.
Or worse, you just keep being the swarm of rats and devour him, and then just burn.
Yeah. Oh man, I love Dishonored.
Corvo strikes again.
Corvo strikes again.
The Rats Man is Spiders Man's sidekick. Or would it be the other way around?
I don't think Spiders Man has a sidekick. I think Rats Man is just a different superhero that's also in New York.
I think it's like when they had those animated specials where like Superman and Batman would be on the same case.
Yeah.
But it's Spiders Man and Rats Man. Like sometimes they collaborate, but otherwise they just sort of do their own thing.
Rats Man, unlike Spiders Man, did not like inherit the consciousness of a guy. Because Spiders Man is a giant collection of spiders that absorbed Peter Parker's consciousness. Rats Man is just many rats amalgamated together. The ultimate rat king.
Rats Man is just the average Dishonored swarm of rats. Which, for context, he's probably more terrifying than Spiders Man.
Yeah, those rats did freak me the fuck out.
Rats.
Still do whenever I play Dishonored again.
I must see them now. I must see
They're
the
just
rats.
normal rats, but they do some fucked up shit.
Yeah,
they do skeletalize like people. They're like land piranhas.
I mean, you put a bunch of hunger rats in a room with a guy. Yeah.
in a bunch of full rats are walking out.
But like, dude, normal rats eat a full guy in like less than 3 seconds, bones and all.
Maybe not that, but like, there was the torture method of putting the rats in the cage on your face, and then they would just eat through your skull to get out. So there's that.
Advanced interrogation techniques.
That's not interrogation. That just kills them.
Interrogated. I was interrogated once. They put me in a room, rubber room with rats, and the rats, they got me interrogated.
And rats, they eat my fucking face. Anyway, enough about rats and Spider-Man.
Spiders Man.
Sorry, Spiders Man.
Let's kill Liara's mom.
Yeah.
Morg?
Unfortunately, we do have to kill her because she starts fighting us first.
Uh-oh.
But before you do that, you have a nice long conversation with her about Saren and stuff.
Yeah. She taunts you and gloats.
Yeah.
And then this is like honestly one of the hardest boss fights in the game, which is why I do Novaria second.
You mean last?
I mean last, yeah. Sorry, I don't think of getting Liara as like an optional order of things. It's like that's just always.
Yeah, no, you can kill Liara's mom before getting Liara, and she's a little upset about it.
When you eventually do manage to hurt her badly enough that she's dying, she reveals that as a very powerful psychic, she locked a portion of her mind away to open back up as she was dying, or as at a very specific time, in order to try and deliver very important information. And she reveals some crazy shit that Saren. Saren's, I think she does reveal that Saren's shimp. is a Reaper.
Sharon Sip.
Sharon's new bar just dropped. Sharon's Sip. Go there and take sips with the bartender, Sharon.
She's a good listener. As most bartenders are, honestly.
That Saren's ship is a Reaper, and that Saren, through it, possesses a really fucked up form of mind control, essentially, where the more time you spend around him, the more time you spend around the ship, the more you find yourself just agreeing with him and his goals and his motives, until eventually you're just like on the same side, and it happens slow enough that you don't even notice.
Until it's too late, and then
until it's too late, and then it's like, well, I'm already here, and I mean, I fully believe in this guy. Why wouldn't I? But as a very powerful psychic woman, she could squirrel away a piece of her mind after she realized it was happening to be able to explain some of this weird bullshit. And especially disclose the location of Saren's current base, a place where Saren has been doing operations out of Vermeer. And I think it is after this, and she does die. You can't save her. She does die. She accepts death because she would rather die than be Saren's puppet again.
Yeah.
I believe it's after that you come across the Rachni Queen.
Yes.
Who also psychically connects with you.
Well, yeah, but that's more because the Rachni can't vocalize with their weird spider mouths.
Yeah, exactly. And she explains some even more bizarre shit that, according to her, the Rachni of the past only attacked in the way that they did because they had previously made contact with Reaper artifacts and also found themselves, the term is indoctrinated, and therefore hostile to like all other life. That the Rachni aren't normally like that. That they're usually pretty peaceful. You can choose to let her go or explode her ass.
Yeah, no, you can't just make the Rachni extinct.
I heard you're an endangered species. Don't worry, I can solve that problem. Pulls out a detonator.
Endangered? No, I'm promoting you to extinct.
Excuse me.
My reason?
The crazy
I don't like
thing is,
spiders.
fair. The thing is, by killing the Rachni Queen, though, it doesn't exterminate the species because there are still all those eggs.
Yes.
They're just not gonna have like any like big head honcho.
There's an easy solution to this.
They're just gonna go crazy.
There's an easy solution to this.
Well, hold on, Elena, because I know exactly what you're gonna say, and yes, you do blow up the facility.
I was gonna say fire, but that also works.
You do blow up the whole facility. That is, yeah. But where did Cerberus get their eggs from?
Monday.
The chicken farm.
The chicken farm. Oh yeah, the Rachni farm. We've all seen it.
Yeah, but which farm came first? The Rachni farm or the egg farm?
I don't know. I don't think they ever tell us. With all this very important information learned. You make your way, finally, to Vermeer. Do you keep wanting to say it's Veermeyer?
Yeah, it is not. It is
There's
not
something
Veermeyer. It is just Vermeer.
deeply wrong with me. Vermeer.
And Vermeer is where the second half of the game starts, because you've got an actual concrete understanding ish of what you're after, and also a more concrete understanding of what the Reapers are.
Yeah, according to the understanding you probably have at this point in the game, Reapers aren't like an ancient machine race, but are ancient machines.
Absolutely fucking massive ancient
Yeah.
machines.
Yeah, if Saren's ship is a Reaper, it is. I feel like as big as a fucking state.
Yeah, that's not inaccurate, honestly.
As big as a state in the United States, of course. Not as big as Texas. Maybe as big as like Wyoming.
Which is still sizable.
It's still like a lot of fucking mass.
And notably, Saren's ship is also that Reaper specifically is also the thing that you see in the very beginning of the game in the footage of Eden Prime, the attack.
Yeah.
And it's fucking massive there too.
It dwarfs the tallest skyscraper you see.
Looks like a fucking hand of God.
It is very hand-shaped from that angle. I always liked that about that cinematography.
But anyway, you show up on Vermeer, ready to blow up Saren's base of operations.
And also Saren, hopefully.
Preferably also Saren. But the moment you get to Vermeer, things kind of start going wrong.
Yeah. First, the Normandy can't get you as close to the base as you want because there's several anti-air batteries in the way.
And while the Normandy may be a stealth ship, the anti-air can still just like look up and see the Normandy.
Yeah, it does cloak you from scanners, not from eyes. It's only useful in space because most other ships do rely on their scanners to see.
Yeah. Especially Geth ships, since they don't even have fucking windows.
They don't even have windows. Geth ships, according to the Geth, don't need windows because
they're a structural weakness.
They're a structural weakness, and they can just interface with the ship directly. They are a machinimen.
But anyway, yeah, no, Normandy can't get you close enough to Saren's base to just get in, get out, blow up the place immediately.
Yeah.
So that means you have to also fight your way through a bunch of Geth to get to an outpost that is right outside of it.
Yeah, the outpost is one of my favorite bits in all of ME1 because it is a Solarian outpost of what are essentially Solarian special forces.
Yeah, the STG.
They're cool as hell.
That they fucking are. And this is also a palpable point of no return.
Yeah. I don't remember if the game explicitly tells you if it's a point of no return, but it is a point of no return. Once you start
it does not deliberately, it does not say it, but you can feel it in the atmosphere when you're at the camp, especially.
It does feel like things are ramping up fast.
And they are, because you have to confront Rex.
We sure do.
Because I don't quite remember the reasoning. It has something to do with the genophage.
Yeah, the reasoning is that as the Solarians stationed at this outpost have found out, using the Geth technology and the Reaper technology, Saren has found a way to successfully clone Krogans en masse.
Thereby circumventing the genophage.
Yeah, circumventing, but not like solving the genophage. This, of course, excites Rex to no end, who has been looking for a way to get around this thing since it was a thing.
Yeah. And this is a point in the game where if you do not have a high enough charm,
Or
like specifically charm stat, Rex will just die. Like either you kill Rex or one of your teammates, most likely Ashley, kills Rex.
Usually Ashley kills Rex. And that's it's worth noting there is actually a third way around. It's not just if you have a high enough charm or intimidate. If you did the quest earlier where you got him his special family armor, then he's more willing to listen, and you don't need to use the charm or intimidate option. So if you are rewarded for the completionist instinct if you went and did everything, but didn't level up your charm or intimidate high enough to actually convince Rex.
Yeah. Specifically, you don't even get the check.
You don't even.
I don't think you're even given the option to kill Rex at that point if you have his armor.
I don't remember. I know you aren't given the charm intimidate check. You do only have the option left of like, hey man, I helped you get your family's armor back. I've done a bunch of things for you. Like, believe me when I tell you that this is not the solution to the genophage that you're after. This is all of the I believe specifically the reasoning that Shepard uses when you choose that option is like all of the Krogan that are made here like aren't going to be actual Krogan. They are like genetically processed soup.
Yeah.
Like they are Krogan, but they like emerge fully matured. They don't have any life experiences beforehand. They are technically Krogan, but it's like it's not really a way. It's not a way to alleviate the genophage. It can boost your population, but like it's not the solution you're after. If you know Rex well enough as a person at that point.
The Krogan culture will stagnate more than it already has, and it will just die from the inside at that point.
Especially because it's made very clear once the actual mission begins that like these Krogan are specifically made to be shock troopers and nothing else. That is all that they know. Is to just run on the battlefield and die.
Yeah.
And so it's like to Rex, especially like once you lay out that reasoning in front of him, he does understand that like this would not be a way to continue the Krogan culture or the Krogan people. It would just result in a longer death,
a longer, more painful death for the entire species.
Which you might know is the thing he's been trying to avoid and or solve.
Yeah. But also at the Solarian camp is another important choice that you need to make, because you need to send one of your squad away with the Solarian task force to plant a nuke in Saren's base.
Yeah.
And specifically, you have to choose between Caden or Ashley.
Yes, you have to choose between one of your two human crewmates to go do it. Both of them volunteer to go do it, despite it being made very clear that they might not come back.
Please, take me out of this.
Yeah. Commander, kill my ass.
I don't want to be here anymore, Commander.
So, they are both very much made aware of the risks. They're both very aware of the risks, and they do both volunteer for it. And I'm pretty certain it seems to be the majority consensus that most people tend to choose to send Ashley in there because of the whole alien racism thing that she is doing for most of the game. I believe at one point in dialogue with her, she even compares the other alien peoples to actual dogs.
That's very early on in the game.
It is very early on in the game, but my point is like that those things leave such an impression that
especially early on in the game.
Yeah, that people do kill her for it. I don't recall, but I don't think Ashley has a decent chunk of, at least not visible, character growth in the first game. So, like, I do think that she does change a little bit over the course of it, and does come to see the alien members of the crew as important and valuable, and not dogs. But like, is that the equivalent of treating them as quote unquote one of the good ones? Or have her views genuinely been changed is left really unclear. And I do think that does lead to a lot more people being willing to sacrifice her than would otherwise. I mean, that certainly was my reasoning, at least. That's why I chose to send her to die.
Oh.
Also, I liked Caden. He was kind of a weird little guy and sort of a complete pushover, but like, at least he was nice.
He's got that autistic riz.
Yeah. Putting a medal on Caden's chest. I bestow you with the highest honor I possibly can. Headcanon as autistic.
But yeah, no, depending on who you send to go arm the nuke,
They die.
Yeah, they just fucking die. Well, not necessarily. You are given an option later to go assist them specifically, and have other human squad mate die. But
so you are given the option to renege on your first choice.
Yes. But regardless of what you do, one of your human squad mates is dying. Caden or Ashley.
Yeah. Either they die arming the nuke because it turns out that there ends up being a problem with the nuke and they have to go manually arm it, which doesn't give them enough time to get away before it detonates. I forget the way the other one dies if you choose to go and help the one with the nuke.
I'm fairly certain they get overrun outside the base.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because I've literally never not gone to arm the nuke myself. But Vermeer is also fucking massive.
Vermeer is huge. I'd say very, very long level.
Like you fight Saren at the end of it.
Oh god, yeah, I totally forgot about the Saren fight. And there's something of incredible importance that happens on Vermeer that my brain almost fucking parsed over.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, but before you fight Saren, you do something far more important, and that is talk to Saren's ship.
As it turns out, the Reapers are not only fully real, but they are intelligent, and they are bent on exterminating all life, including Saren eventually. the ship identifies itself as
Sovereign.
sovereign. That's right. I almost said the other one that you meet later.
We are not yet assuming direct control.
The ship identifies itself as sovereign, and it is. I don't think our explanation can do it justice because it is a chilling fucking conversation.
It is so well done.
To be very clear, I knew a decent chunk through cultural osmosis before I played Mass Effect for the first time. Right? I knew the Reapers were a real thing. I knew that they were sapient machines bent on the destruction of all life. And still, when I ran into that conversation, I was like, "Oh, this is fucked up." Actually,
yeah, like it is like coming face to face with an eldritch god.
it is so well done. It is exactly coming face to face with an eldritch god. It is staring into the eyes of the universe and seeing that it does not care for you whatsoever, and in fact, actually wants you dead so badly.
Yeah, you are an affront to the universe. And it tells you as such. God, yeah. No, honestly, watch a cutscene of that of that scene. It's so good.
It's incredible. Or if you want, play the game and get to that point yourself eventually after like 40 hours.
Yeah, no,
I'm not gonna lie about the time investment. It's insane.
It'll take you a whole 5 minutes.
It's right after character creation.
Yeah, totally.
There's no build up.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, yes, you can get there very quickly if you
That's all you do.
the quests.
Yeah. But then you miss out on so many other, like Conrad Werner,
the most important character in all of Mass Effect.
I really like that continuity cavalcade in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah. But even trying to speedrun the main missions can take a while because they're all really long. Like a minimum of 45 minutes if you're playing it normally.
Yeah, they do take a long time. But it just means like more opportunity for I don't know, weird shit. I guess like this fucking conversation that happens.
Yeah.
Just bizarre. I do not have a way in the only language that I know, which is English, to demonstrate the sheer malice that is radiating off of Sovereign in this instant. The sheer amount of like he describes himself. I guess we do refer to Sovereign as he later in the game. Congratulations, robot can have gender as a treat.
Happy birthday, robot. Here's your present. Pronouns.
The best way I can describe it, or the best analogy I can make to it is the Pale King's scripts saying higher beings, these words are for you alone, but malevolent.
In fucking Hollow Knight? Man,
yes.
just really bringing it with the Hollow Knight comparisons this episode. How do I not have Hollow Knight on my fucking sheet? What the hell?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up last time we talked. Last time it was brought up, but I figured I'd save that for after the episode.
I don't know what I'm putting there as soon as we're finished.
Yeah. But yeah, no,
Sorry, giant spider. No, it's not giant. It's just larger than normal. It came out of nowhere.
it heard about Hollow Knight and wants to talk to you about it.
No, please leave me alone. I don't have anything to kill it with. I don't have like a tissue or anything. Hang on. That was disgusting. I had a sticky note on my wall that's just like my list of daily chores. I just killed it with that. I'm just gonna crumple this up. I'll throw it away in a little bit. That was. I'm freaked. I'm kind of freaked now. Put that over there.
What do you mean? It's fine.
Shut the fuck up, spiders, man.
You're gonna get suplexed tonight.
Oh, what the hell were we talking about? Right. Sovereign tries to like talk about the way that he's wants to exterminate all life as if it's like the sane and rational thing to do. But he really just come off as like a major hater. He sounds doesn't sound angry because the voice actor does do a very good job of like remaining very level. But like I said, like the sheer malice that is coming out of his voice is palpable. It's all pulp, no juice.
All pulp, no juice. Throws an orange at you.
He throws a full orange at you and tells you to pick it up off the ground and eat it.
Do not worry. I have a 4-year degree in hating your ass.
I went to Haters University just to get better at hating you.
I went to Haters University and got a PhD and fuck you.
The PhD in fuck you and a bachelor's in oh my god, fuck you.
That was in women's studies.
That's unrelated.
I may be a hater, but I also respect women.
I may be a hater, but I don't hate women on the basis of being women.
I may be a hater, but I'm not misogynistic.
They make a mockery of the art form of hatred.
Yeah.
I may be a hater, but I'm not a misogynist. It's like, I'm a bad guy, but I'm not a bad guy.
I'm not like other guys. My god.
Anyway, after the fantastic speech with the racist robot, you fight Saren, and
He's on a hoverboard.
He's first of all, he's on a sick ass hoverboard. Secondly,
fuck yeah.
Most annoying boss in the game for me.
Easily.
Not necessarily the hardest, just the most annoying.
But he's on a cool hoverboard.
Yeah, it's the only good thing about the fight.
That's all he has.
The things that make it annoying is like getting rid of his shield takes a long time, and he can regenerate it really quickly. That's just one of them. And since he's on a hoverboard, he can basically just ignore cover and hit you from wherever, whenever he wants.
You know, alongside sending out a bunch of goons to fuck you up. Alongside that,
so many goons over the course of the fight. It is ridiculous how many goons he has. You do break him down eventually, and you do figure out where he's heading after that, because he does run away like a little bitch.
Don't you mean he hovers away on his hoverboard?
Sorry, he hovers away like a fucking coward. And he gets on his way to where he now knows the conduit is. It is at this point that I believe you are mandated by the council to return to the Citadel for reasons that I don't recall.
I also do not quite recall.
You have to go back to the Citadel for some reason.
Yeah, I think it is mostly just to confirm everything that you've found out so far.
Yeah, I don't think to regroup yourself.
It's worth noting that at this point, the council does believe you about the Reapers because you have first-hand fucking proof that they exist.
Yeah.
And also, proof of where the conduit is. And just, you talk to the council about that, and they send you on your merry way after.
They don't. They
Right.
do not send you on your merry way.
Right. No, they put you in house arrest.
They put you in house arrest. I don't remember why they put you in house arrest. what their reasoning is.
That's it. You're grounded.
They have a reason for it that is like enshrouded in bureaucracy. It might be something about detonating a nuke. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. Probably not, though.
Detonates nuke. Go home. Stay home.
Go home, Shepard. We can find out real quick. I can just open the plot guide. I feel like this is an important thing to know.
Absolutely.
I can just go to IGN and search Mass Effect 1.
Oh, actually, funny thing that we did not touch on. You can actually get to this point in the game without having gotten Liara. You only need to complete 2 of the 3.
That is right. Yeah, you do only need to do 2 of the 3 to get
access to Vermeer.
So yeah, but this is kind of thing we passed on last time, where it's like all of the crew members aside from Ashley, Caden, and Tali are optional, and that includes Liara. You can leave her ass there.
Yeah. She's just stuck in gay baby jail for the entire game.
The reason why you can't get rid of Tali is because once you send either the mechanical reason is once you send either Ashley or Caden to die, you do need to have a full squad if you chose to reject the rest of your party members, and so that's the role that Tali fills. And she, like Caden, has access to the skills that are required to be able to like unlock certain containers and things. So that way, like, you won't be missing out on post Vermeer loot.
Yes. But after Vermeer and you get put in house arrest.
Lockdown. I'm reading.
Reading? How dare you?
The council has confirmed reinforcements for the Citadel and are asking Shepard to return to the Citadel to talk to them face to face. You do so. Both the council and the ambassador Udina shun Shepard's warning about the conduit and believe that the Reapers are a lie created by Saren to distract them from its true goal of attacking the Citadel. So they don't fully believe in the Reapers. I think currently they still think the Reapers are a myth and think that Saren's big-ass ship is just a giant Geth mothership that the Geth made for him. That's probably what's up at this point, if I recall. And they have in fact decided to ground both you and the Normandy. But of course, you go anyway. No one can stop you. Specifically, the way that you get out of here is Captain Anderson goes behind Counselor Udina and does just punch him in the face.
Yeah.
It knocks him out.
Love that scene.
And so, giving you access to his computer very easily, which lets you unground your ship and make a break for it to go to where the conduit is. And also, at this point, if you've been following a romance path, this is where it climaxes, both metaphorically and literally, because you have sex.
Oh.
Hooray!
Yeah.
If you've been following a romance path with either with Ashley, Caden, or Liara, it is essentially established at this point in time that it's like, yeah, Shepard and the romantic interest probably would have maybe done it before now, but they were like in the military, doing military stuff.
Hmm.
But like now that they're off the book,
Yeah.
frees up the moment for a bit of a freaky time.
Now that they're off the book, they can get on the bed.
Now they're off the book, they can get under the covers.
Fucking.
Sex.
I do like that you can recruit Garrus and Rex during this lockdown.
Oh, that's right, because they're still on the Citadel. You can just go get them. Be like, hey, I know we've never met before. Do you want to do something fucking stupid?
You want to join me on what is likely a suicide mission?
Yeah, I've got nothing else going on. Oh, that's hilarious. It's worth noting as well. You can scan planets as you like kind of go throughout the game, and they sometimes give you just information, and sometimes they give you like they update one of the things in your collectathon quests throughout the game.
And other times you can land on them and do
you can land on
open world missions.
But when you scan them and they give you information, it's typically noted that the logs are written by Tally and Engineer Adams. And that's in part because, I guess it makes sense that them as the very tech-focused people on your crew would be manning the scanners. But also, like, Tally's the only character you're guaranteed to have that cannot die. So she kind of has to be the one responsible for writing them if you want a character on the crew to have written them. So they don't know when you're scanning those things. Could be anyone.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's time. It's time to go to where the conduit is. The conduit is located on a planet that has a bunch of Prothean ruins on it. It is a colossal excavation site, essentially a big planet-wide excavation site.
It's also
yes,
notably been lost, like removed from the galactic maps because it had it was on a strange orbit, and it effectively got knocked out of alignment somehow and just drifted into space somewhere.
Yes, yeah. People couldn't find it easily, so they had to get the map. And putting together the information you got from Matriarch Benezia, and from Soren's base, and from when that fucking lady who was controlled by a plant monster beamed words into your brain, putting all that together, you can figure out the current location of that planet and fly there.
Which is called Ilos.
Yes, that's right. It is Ilos. Get to Ilos. And you go through I don't know if it was especially grueling because I was playing on Insanity, but man, it was grueling.
Oh no, I mean, as someone who also played on Insanity, it's fucking grueling. It's just Geth fight after Geth fight.
Yeah,
and like you do fully heal between each fight. They do still take like 10 minutes apiece.
they are long, long fights. They just take a while, and you're just navigating terrain for a while. You're finding little tidbits that's like, Saren's gone this way. There are bits there's a bit that you like drive the Mako through, and you have to like get out every now and again to go down these side passages and open doors so you can continue taking the Mako through. It's overall, I think it's a very well designed area, but it is hectic and very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, in a good way, it is.
Yeah,
It's
it is
obviously
hard in a good way.
designed to be the penultimate level.
Yeah, it is the second to last mission in the game, and that's if you count the last mission as a mission. Which
I totally count the last mission as a mission. That one's fucking awesome.
It's cool as hell. You go through Ilos, and along the way you find a VI, a virtual intelligence, that has been left here by the Protheans, who exposits at you for a while.
Yeah.
Explaining a bunch of things.
Woo.
Your turn.
Oh,
Tossing the baton to you so you can say words again.
Why did I think that was directed at me for a second? I was like,
Arena hits you in the face with the baton.
You're next.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have a conversation with a Prothean VI that was left there specifically for the next. Okay. First of all, it explains that the Reapers go back so much farther than just the Protheans. They've been systematically exterminating any and all intelligent life in the galaxy for eons. The Protheans were just the most recent victims until now. So the Protheans left this VI for the next cycle to discover. And specifically, it has a way of detecting whether or not you are indoctrinated by the Reapers, because otherwise it just would not tell you. It would just not talk to you at all.
Yeah.
It also comments on Saren having passed by, who obviously was indoctrinated, because indoctrination is not something that Saren does. It's something that the Reapers do to basically just brainwash any organic life around them.
Yep. You run into a few people who are indoctrinated on Vermeer, back when you still think it's Saren doing it, and they are kind of in shambles.
Yeah.
Because they're not fully indoctrinated yet, but they're in like the middle end of it.
The point of no return, but they are aware that they're indoctrinated, and they're also aware they can't go back.
Yeah. It's fucking uncanny. It's fucked up.
But yeah, no, you talk to the VI, you ask it a bunch of questions about what it knows about the Reapers, which is of course scant little.
Yeah.
And the only reason that the Protheans are like the Prothean structures are so prevalent on Ilos is because this was a this entire planet basically was a giant research planet for Prothean scientists of any and all field of study.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also one of the very last places that the Reapers came to when exterminating the Protheans.
That allowed them to do some wacky shit.
Such as putting the entire population into cryosleep to avoid being detected by the Reapers.
They did die.
Most of them died. The ones that survived, because the Reapers were very thorough, and so they took their sweet fucking time, and so the longer it went on, the longer the extermination went on, obviously the longer they had to consume power to stay alive, so eventually they had to start shutting off life support for, first, non-essential personnel, then least essential personnel, working their way up the chain of command until eventually the Reapers left, and whatever few Protheans were left realized that they couldn't sustain a population with this few people, so they just put their remaining lifespans into prepping the next set of the next cycle to deal with the Reapers.
And I really like the way they did it. I like the way the next several things. The way I like what we find out immediately right then, which is that obviously since this is not the first time this has happened, and find out immediately hereafter that the Citadel and the mass relays are a trap, essentially. They were not built by the Protheans. They were built by at least the VI claims that they were built by the Reapers in order to shape the flow of civilization to make it easier for life to be harvested later. The reason why the Citadel is so hospitable to any possible form of life is because
that's what it was designed to do.
It was designed to do.
Be pure.
And specifically, what was supposed to happen, this cycle is already late for harvesting. Because what is supposed to happen is the keepers on the Citadel, these uncanny bug-like fuckers that maintain the structure, are meant that were also like bioengineered by the Reapers to keep the place running, and they're supposed to essentially, after a certain point of time, activate a signal that summons all of the Reapers there. There's a big ass fucking statue of a mass relay in the center of the Citadel. It is the main point through which the Reapers are supposed to appear and annihilate.
It's not a statue of a mass relay. It is a giant mass relay.
The thing is, though, the last act that the Prothean scientists got to commit was to essentially do a little genetic engineering of their own and remove that part of the Keepers from their programming, making it so that they don't activate the that mass relay, causing all of the, I almost call them sentients, causing all of the Reapers to flood in all at once. And in talking with it, you do kind of figure out, like, that's what fucking Sovereign is here to do. The bitch is here to manually activate that mass relay in the Citadel.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically, Sovereign has always been here in the galaxy, because Sovereign is the Reaper that they leave behind as a failsafe in case something like this happens.
He's really pissed about having to do his job.
I mean, I would be too. Can you imagine if the ants found a way to disarm all my fucking ant traps?
Can you imagine?
I had to manually rearm all of them and set it up in a way that the rest of the ants could not disarm.
When you put it like that, yeah, I understand why he's frustrated.
But yeah, no. The VI, whose name is Vigil, gives you a file that lets you fully access everything in the Citadel before you go, because that's where Saren is going next.
Yeah, because Saren has been blocked off from access to the Citadel normally because he's evil.
Yeah, because he committed, treason.
And so intends to use the conduit, whatever that is, as a way to get it. And you also know where the conduit is from Vigil 2, don't you?
Yeah, no, the conduit is the key that lets you access the mass relay.
It is. If I recall correctly, it's like it is a shitty prototype mass relay that the Protheans make. That is much smaller and can't really transport like a whole ship, which is why Saren both has himself and a small force taking the conduit in to the Citadel to get inside and cause chaos, and you have Sovereign on the outside mounting a frontal assault to try and access it. So you have chaos on two fronts.
Yeah. But the conduit is also like on Ilos. It's not something you can pick up and take. Yeah. So that's your gateway to the Citadel. And so you just drive the fucking Mako onto the Citadel through a portal, basically.
It's fucking rad. You drive your shitty fucking Moonmobile.
You drive your ATV onto
a space portal. And you fling yourself onto a city street.
Yeah, basically.
Where it does immediately crash and catch on fire.
Yes. It served its purpose. Specifically, the Normandy does not pick you up because that would take too long for you to backtrack all the way out. So Normandy goes to the Citadel to help fight Sovereign.
It does a bang-up job.
That it does.
From this point, you as Shepard and you do only get to bring the two crew that you brought with you to Ilos. You don't get to make another choice before you go through the portal. Whoever you take with you to Ilos, that's your fucking party for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
You're fighting a bunch of Geth through the Citadel to try to get to Saren, and specifically to try to get to like the core to make it so that Sovereign cannot summon the rest of the Reapers through, like disable his access to it.
It is worth noting that at the beginning of this mission, the Council of the Citadel is trying to, escape to safety, because the core of the Citadel is also the fucking Council chamber.
Sure is.
And you are given the option to have the Normandy save the Council or to let them fucking die.
Yeah, this was the point in the game where I had done enough renegade stuff around Liara that she was advocating to let the Council die. Which doesn't seem like a thing you would actually do.
No, not at all.
So yeah, that's just can lead to some sort of weird moments. But it was very interesting to say the least to see how she justified it. I forget how she did justify it because I was just bewildered.
No. See, this is how she does it. She just slowly walks up from behind, leans in, and is like, "Do it." Give in your anger.
Why do I feel so persuaded right now?
Why do I feel so persuaded right now? FYI, We've been recording for 2 hours and 14 minutes.
We are damn near at the end.
It's gonna be a long way. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm getting kind of tired, to be honest.
We're almost at the end, I swear.
We're almost okay. I can.
Not that much fun.
I can
Yeah,
not.
It's literally that choice that you make to save or let the council die. And then basically just the fight with Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have a conversation. You have a conversation with Saren first, obviously.
Yeah.
And depending on your dialogue options, you can convince him to kill himself. Which
can
does skip the first half of the fight.
You can make him realize he's been indoctrinated, at which point he chooses death, much like Matriarch Benezia did. That does skip the first phase of the fight, which is much like the other
hoverboard section.
So, like, I really do recommend doing that. I do recommend talking him to death.
Oh yeah, try this one on for size. Can God make a rock so big even he can't lift it? The other guy.
Wow, Shepard, I can't say I've ever seen a man kill himself because he couldn't fathom a simple paradox. The second phase of the fight is when cybernetic implants in Saren fully do just take over his body. He goes full crazy claw machine man mode.
First of all, it disintegrates any remaining flesh on him. So he's just a cybernetic skeleton.
This doesn't sound like a fun claw machine, I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, when I was talking about the claws, I meant his hands.
No. Now I'm just imagining we're fighting a full-on claw machine.
Well, you can imagine that if you want. I can't stop it.
It's the most evil being in the entire game. And guess what? These plushies are mine. You're gonna pick them up and you're gonna put them over the hole, and then I'm gonna be like, "Whoa, you dropped it!" And then, no, my money.
It's weird. There's one very epic moment I want to highlight before the Saren fight.
Epic
which is that,
gamer moment?
Sure.
Cool.
Because you can't get to the Citadel core from the stairs because they've been exploded. So you have to go outside and spacewalk up the Citadel.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool fight. Because you do have to fight your way through that too.
You fight so many Geth on the way there, but you make it, and it's cool as hell. Then you fight Saren, both preferably not in actual man mode and claw machine mode, preferably just in claw machine mode, which is hard enough.
Because
I'm glad they made that fight easier in Legendary Edition.
Yeah, there was a back on the 360, there was a custom avatar. There was a custom profile picture for doing that fight on Insanity.
I can see why, because in that fight, doesn't he continue to summon like a Geth destroyers the whole time?
Yeah, and also regenerate his fucking shield.
Yeah, well, they made it so he doesn't summon mooks as frequently in Legendary Edition. They brought it down a little bit.
Well, I mean, there's still the funniest way to cheese it, which is just keep casting lift on his ass.
Yeah. Fucking get lifted, dumbass. Look at him hover over there. unable to do anything.
Yeah, what a loser.
The game does end after you finally manage to kill his ass. I believe you are left with one final decision. I don't remember if it actually impacts anything.
The final decision is so technically you save or destroy the console after that fight.
Oh, that's after that fight. Right, yeah, because you're at the fucking console in the center of the Citadel that lets you... Right. That lets you like, actually interface with people because it bypasses the communication block.
Yes, and after the credits roll, first of all, Sovereign does fucking succumb to the entire might of the galactic armada.
It does take literally every single ship in the galaxy almost to kill his ass.
On the Citadel, at least.
Yeah.
To kill one Reaper, and there are thousands
So many casualties. Thousands upon thousands die in the process.
Yeah. But after that, the credits roll, and then after you've got post-credits decisions to make, such as assuming the council is killed, you can choose to make an all-human council.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
You can also choose to nominate Anderson as one of the council members.
To which he fucking hates you for it, almost.
Yeah, he just hates the position. He doesn't blame Shepard for it.
Yeah,
because he knows if the role were switched, he would have done the same.
Yeah, that is what he says, isn't it? Anderson, you deserve it, my guy.
Yeah.
Yippee!
Yippee! Promotion!
Promotion to bureaucrat.
Promotion to bureaucrat from military admiral.
Yeah.
In the span of like a week.
Comedy.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's Mass Effect 1.
Yay!
I am going to very quickly scroll to the very bottom of the thing, just to see if there's anything we missed. It won't take long, I read fast, don't worry about it.
You have 10 seconds. That's a joke. Do what you need to do.
Yeah, never mind. It's just choosing who the human counselor is, / if the council is dead, who if you make an all-human council or not.
Yeah.
That is the last decision you get to make. And I think the first game does end, I think, very well. I think it ends... I feel like if there weren't 2 other games afterwards, if there was an alternate timeline where this was all of Mass Effect there ever was, I'd be satisfied.
I'd be more than satisfied.
Because it does end itself on the note of like, well, the war isn't over yet. With the information we have now, we might just stand a chance against the Reapers. The fucking fade to black. It's kind of like how Star Wars Episode 4 ends, where it's like, yeah, the Death Star is gone, but there's still a whole empire out there, but also like, this could be the only movie, and I don't think it'd be any worse for wear. Like, if that was the only Star Wars movie, I wouldn't be disappointed.
Yeah.
I do like that there is more Star Wars. But in an alternate universe where that's all the Star Wars, and an alternate universe where that's all the Mass Effect, I'd be more than satisfied with it.
And besides, the other three Mass Effect games are all really good as well. Wow. They did not decline in quality. They just maintained the status quo in terms of like both story and gameplay to an extent.
I can't
there's
believe
some ups and downs, but
I can't believe that you'd make the fucking brave decision to say that Mass Effect Andromeda is just as good as the original 3.
Yeah, no, when we get to the Andromeda episode, I have words for the entirety of human civilization.
But we'll get there when we get there.
Yes.
So until next time.
Until next time.
Till next time.
Sound effect.